Today's collectible spot, we're having a look at the brand new Monogram International Superpowers Collection Figural Keyrings. These should be found in local comic book stores, and of course Spot's going to have a look at an entire case to show you what the figures themselves are going to look like. Must say I really love the package box artwork. Being a big fan of superpowers, I grew up with superpowers, that this is right up my alley in the way of collectibles. You're still going to be guaranteed high-end collectibles from Monogram, but with a slight spin for certainly old retro collectors like myself that, again, all loved growing up with superpowers. I loved superpowers. I wish I still had my collection to this day. Here are the individual bags. Again, contains one Figural keyring inside. Warning, choking hazard, small parts, not for children under 3 years of age. You can see the characters featured on the front with a better idea of what the characters are inside by the back of the package. You've got Superman, Batman, Firestorm, which is a nice addition, Plastic Man, Shazam, Dr. Fate, Darkseid, Brainiac, Lex Luthor, and then two variations. One variation looks very similar silhouette-wise to Hawkgirl, and the other one looks like it could bear some striking resemblance to Superman. So hopefully we can get our entire set in this box. To check out more from the folks over at Monogram, make sure you head over to www.monogramdirect.com. Okay, so we're going to, again, open up an entire case of these. I'm going to need to reach off camera and grab Old Red. This is the knife of choice for this review. And again, we're going to open up all the bags until we get ourselves a full set. And we'll see how long it takes before we get ourselves a full set in this video. So let's start with the first bag, bag number one. I really think that Monogram picked some really good choices, especially Robotic Brainiac, which you don't see very often at all, and Darkseid. Of course, Firestorm is no slouch either. He's pretty cool too. And the first one that we're going to get inside is Superman. Now, Superman has been released. Well, not this particular Superman, but we have received Supermans in previous Monogram Direct International releases. His face is slightly different. He's a little bit more conserved, not smiling necessarily. I'm sure Superman feels the weight of the world resting on his shoulders, knowing that he's got to keep the rest of the team in line. I like how the cape is sculpted to the back of the figure. Even on the back of the figure, you've got the Superman emblem there. Good durable rubber that these figures are made out of. Good quality rubber. And one thing that, if you're going to have it as a key ring, you want to make sure it stands the test of time. He may not be a man of steel necessarily, but at least you get a good durable piece out of these. And I love how they, the plastic, or not the plastic, but like the rubber itself, as you can see, it looks like it's individual parts that have been put together. Really like that. And of course, Superman curl goes a long way as well. We start with the leader, unless you are a believer that Batman is the leader of superpowers, but, you know, Superman, Man of Steel. Good way to start. Let's go to bag number two. Let's see what we have. Bag number two, a Superman baddie. First time in this, I think first time in this wave. We've got Darkseid. Now they've given Darkseid a cape, as like his old superpowers counterpart. His red eyes there. Even some nice detailing that they put also above his eyebrow or brow forehead area. D on his chest stands for death. No, it stands for Darkseid. I think the coloring turned out great on Darkseid as well. When I was younger, I used to call him Darkseid. Some people I still know call him Darkseid. I don't correct him, you know, whatever you, however which you want it. I have mispronounced Thanos a couple of times. People say it's Thanos. You know what, you can call him whatever you want. Let's open up bag number three and see what we got here. I have to admit, even though technically we've already only done two out of the entire case, we're still doing pretty good for no double. Oh, and I quickly say that. Got ourselves another Superman. Spot has also received tons of questions. Spot, what do you do with all these extra bags when you finish reviewing them? Well, I do give them away to charities. I also give them to friends' kids that, you know, maybe can't find these themselves. So I do always give them away. Of course, some of these I do keep because they are super cool. Like, I'm definitely going to be looking forward to keeping, like, the Superman here. And joining the Justice League Superpowers collection, more so Superpowers, we've got ourselves Plastic Man. Plastic Man. Well, it's actually not... Is it Plastic Man? Yeah, Plastic Man. For a second, you know when you say a name, sometimes you think to yourself, Plastic Man? No, Plastic Man. And again, not a character that you see a lot of, but when you do appreciate it. Plastic Man. He's got one kind of saggy little bicep. It's okay, Plastic Man. Put him right to the side. Let's see what else we have. Let's just randomly select a bag. We're going to choose this one right here. This one right here we're going to pick. Because I don't think there is actually coding on the back indicating which bag is which. It's all up to chance. Let's open up bag number 5. Bag number 5 gives us, ultimately, one of the exclusives. Now, I said it was Hawkgirl, just by the virtue of the way that the head is shaped, but it ended up being Hawkman, which I think is a better fit for the Superpowers collection. He's got his mace in hand. He's got also his wings. They did a good job of sculpting the wings also. I love the coloring also of his head, his helmet. Nice bright orange. That is a perfect orange also for Aquaman. Still has the key hook on the top there, looped around in a strong rubber loop, so it's not going to go anywhere. Put that right over there. And let's open up another bag. This, I guess, would be, we've got 5 bags in. This would be bag number 6. Bag number 6 gives us a very fun Lex Luthor. I say fun because just by virtue of the fact that his helmet or his armor has the little side pieces to it, it also kind of ends up making him look like he's got a body like an egg. Really, oh, that's awesome. Love it. Love it. They choose good colors also for their key rings. Like, that's a perfect Lex Luthor green and purple. And detailing also they put down in the boots area and gloves. I hate to almost say to the Man of Steel, but this might be my favorite so far from this. We haven't gotten ourselves the Robotic Brainiac yet, but let's just pick. We'll pick this one right here. Another cut to the top of the bag. Another peel away of the bag itself. And inside, we've got ourselves Firestorm. Of the very few superpowers, and unfortunately my collection of superpowers isn't as good as I make it out to be. Of the selection of superpowers figures I think I had Wonder Woman, Batman, a Robin. Firestorm was actually one of them, which reminded me of this story. Red Tornado, and I feel like Martian Manhunter. That was really about it. Superpowers, I so wish I collected when I was younger, because that would be a collection I would still have to this day. Great coloring, though, on Firestorm. Especially, I love the sculpt on his hair at the top there. And they found a good way of incorporating the loop to the key hook by still having the loop as part, really, of his fire. Nice touch. Well done, Monogram. Well done. Let's see, we'll grab here. So far we've only got, and I know I would jinx this by saying this, the only double we've received so far is Superman. The next one is Robotic Brainiac. Brainiac, I wish I had picked him up when I was younger. Again, the story of the collector, I'm sure all of us share these very, very same similar stories. When I was younger, oh, I wish I had collected this, or, you know, I wish I had held on to this, is a lot of the same story that collectors give. I love the old superpower stuff. I really, really wish I'd collected more of it. Brainiac, one of my personal favorites as a kid. He just had a really great look to him. You know, the green-skinned Brainiac was okay, but, you know, I kind of dig this, kind of like this design. The Justice League, or Superman animated series, Brainiac, I liked his design as well. It's not quite a silver. It's almost like a matted gray kind of rubber. And then he's got his, not quite brain, but the top of his cranium there. He might be a close favorite to my second Second favorite, possibly, was Brainiac there. Let's do a quick pause. Not literally. We're not going to pause the video. Let's just kind of do a recap and see which one we haven't picked up yet. Still don't have a Batman. Don't have Shazam. Don't have Dr. Fate. And we don't have question marks. So that is, again, count it out with me. 1, still with me, 2, 3, 4. Missing 4. Where can you pick these up? Somebody's yelling at the computer screen. Comic book store. I always find these at my local comic book store. What we have is Batman. I love the predominant Batman emblem that's on his chest there. Very large. You know it's Batman. The choice of gray also is a nice touch. Again, he's not really necessarily smiling. He's more stoic. Heroic, if you will. There's Batman and Superman. Not fighting one another. There's the not dynamic duo, but, you know, the world's finest right there. Okay, so we are now just missing Dr. Fate and question mark. Which possibly could be, it'd be fun if also that was a Bizarro. Let's see here. We'll just, again, grab a random bag. And let's see what we got. Got ourselves another Darkseid. Voiced by, I think, Peter Cullen in the original Superpowers Galactic Guardians show, which was kind of like somewhat the equivalent of Superpowers. He did Darkseid, which I think sounded a lot like Dr. Claw. The next bag, we're going to open this up, and we got ourselves another Lex Luthor. Kind of like if Humpty Dumpty had himself body armor. Maybe he wouldn't have had a great fall. Just throwing it out there, Humpty. If I can call you Humpty, or is it Mr. Dumpty? Opening up the next bag. We're still a couple missing. The next one we have is Dr. Fate. A nice bright yellow with an equally primary blue used for his body there and slight leggings down below. He's a perfect also color for Simpsons. Like that's Simpsons yellow right there. That's a decent looking Dr. Fate. I think Dr. Fate is someone else I would have gravitated towards as a kid for Superpowers figures. If there's anybody out there, by the way, that has any Superpowers figures that wanted to sell them, hit me up. Because, again, I wanted to go back and try to pick up those. Just so kick myself that I never did. Alright, so let's do one more recap. Still don't have Shazam. Still don't have question mark down below. So opening up the next bag, we have yet another Darkseid. Let's see here. Superpowers had lots of cool vehicles too. One of my holy grails, and I just recently, not recently, but within the last 5 years or so, ended up finding a perfect Batmobile. Basically, almost mint. Speaking of Batmobile, there's Batman. One of my holy grails, though, by far, was the original Batmobile for the Superpowers line. Finally picked that up, I would say, again, about 5 years or so ago. I just haven't done a review of it, but eventually I would like to. We still have a good handful of bags left. Let's see if we can get ourselves a Shazam. What we did get instead, though, is a Dr. Fate. There he is right there. And let's grab just another random bag. I just certainly do hope you guys enjoy these unbagging, uncasing videos. If you'd like to see me do more Monogram figures, let me know down below. Certainly would be more than happy to. There is Firestorm. Firestorm was one of my favorites as the ones I had. I want to think that he just punched, because they all did something. You know, you would squeeze their arms for Flash, the little legs would move. I feel like I had Flash too. Firestorm, I think he just squeezed his legs, and I think his hand just kind of punched. I also got a Superman later on in life, but it was the Superman that had the kryptonite ring, which was the same mold, but it wasn't quite the same original Superpowers. I had a friend that had tons of superpowers. Deep down inside, I kind of hoped that he would just come up to me one day and say, you know, I want to get rid of these. Do you know anybody that might be interested? And as soon as I would pick my jaw off the floor, I would probably have bought those from him. All right, so where are we at? Well, we do have the final figure. Well, not quite the final. The only one we're still missing is the question mark. But the final visible figure, and that is Shazam. Shazam has a very classic look to him, with the yellow lightning bolt red outfit and the high collar white cape. That pretty much sums up Shazam. Shazam. Some people also used to call him Captain Marvel. No, not the Marvel Captain Marvel. This was DC Captain Marvel. And he would just utter Shazam. But now, since then, they pretty much have kind of gone more the route of just calling him Shazam. And let's see if we can get the final, which is this one right here. This is exclusive A. Let's see if we can get it in this bag. And we did unfortunately not. We got ourselves another Dr. Fate. Let's grab this one right here. This one had I got good vibes about this one. Good vibes. Grab our knife, get that cut. Bingo bango. We got ourselves another Brainiac. We've had pretty good luck normally where I don't have to finish the case to get all the figures. Let's see if we can be as successful in this video as we have in the previous videos. We've got ourselves another Plastic Man. There he is right there. Plastic Man. I would have called him Rubber Man. I don't know, maybe I guess Plastic Man sounds nicer. This one is, speaking of, got ourselves another Plastic Man. And this actually is a true, I guess, version of the character because he does have rubbery, stretchy limbs, or at least one of his limbs, the one arm there. We only have 3 bags left. Kind of getting down to crunch time here. Getting down to the wire, if you will. And we got another Brainiac. Which really, if you think of, was it Tabula Rasa? I'm trying to think of it was Twilight, the Justice League episode where I think they fought multiple Brainiacs. Not quite the same canon, of course, but you could kind of pretend like Brainiac's got his clones. The next bag gives us, is this it? Nope. We got another Captain Marvel or Shazam. Put him right there. I've got quite a pile going on here. And one more bag, one last bag. This is the final bag. Is this going to be exclusive A? What do you guys think? Anybody? Let me know down below. Do you think this is exclusive A? I guess it really doesn't matter because at the time you post the comments, you could have already watched the video. I would call you Mr. Cheetakins. Let's see what we got. Oh, and it actually was the final, and funny enough then, the exclusive, I forget his name, Martian Manhunter, which was actually the other figure that I had in my Superpowers collection. So it's actually funny, this might have been also the first superpower figure that I had in my collection as a kid, and it ended up being the last figure in the Monogram Superpowers collection. So once again, let's revisit the characters that we got in this set. We had Martian Manhunter, put him right there. Darkseid. We got the Caped Crusader, Batman. I think one of my personal favorites. Oops, let's not bang the box either. Okay, we got Superman. Let's see what else one. One of my favorites from this set had to be Lex Luthor. Priceless, just absolutely priceless. We've got Firestorm. Shazam. A Robotic Brainiac. Plastic Man. Dr. Fate. And lastly, the only other figure we got the exclusive of, and it was only one of them per case, was the Hawkman. I certainly hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Certainly, again, if you are interested in picking up any of the Monogram International releases, some retail stores have them, but your best bet is check out your local comic book store. Also, be sure to head over to Monogram International's website, www.monogramdirect.com, if you'd like to see some of the other things that the company is currently producing. Today's collectible spot, though, we were looking at the brand new Monogram International Superpowers Collection Figural Keyrings. We were looking at an entire case. The case is now empty. Thanks for watching, as you always do. I'll see you next time.